Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, our sunny skies did not do much to warm our temperatures. In fact, it took until early afternoon for our actual air temperature to climb above zero. We are now back down to zero in Rockford, 2 in Freeport, 1 above in Monroe, but our wind chill numbers anywhere from 15 down to 20 degrees below zero. We'll maintain that mostly clear sky, but cloud cover will gradually increase as we look through the night tonight. That will lead to an increase in cloud cover as well as the potential for some snow coming in tomorrow. Notice our temperatures here as we approach that 6 o'clock hour, dipping back below zero, but as southwest winds take hold, we'll actually see those numbers climb going into tomorrow. A look at the wind chill numbers tomorrow morning and our snow chances too, coming up in the First Warn forecast a little later.
Tonight at 5, several local schools cancel in-person classes due to the cold. How some state line students are spending their unexpected day off. Plus a verdict for the man involved in the Christmas shooting, how long he could spend in prison. And a local scholarship will cover transfers between 2 colleges, the changes coming to the Rockford Promise program.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here. Mimi is off tonight. Temperatures here in the state line are at their lowest they've been all winter season. Let's head right back over to Chief Meteorologist Candace King in the Weather Center. Because Candace, when can we expect the sub-zero temperatures to start to climb back up?
Well, air temperatures will climb going into tomorrow. However, wind chills will still stay below zero, and it will take some time, likely not until tomorrow afternoon, that we see everything climb up above zero. We got down to 11 below this morning in Rockford, Freeport down to 12 below, but Galena, you take the cake, 16 degrees below zero. And in some areas in southern Wisconsin and northwest Illinois, that wind chill factor got down 35 to even 40 degrees below zero. Now, our numbers right now sit mostly above zero, but the wind chills again 15 to 20 degrees below, which is why that cold weather advisory remains in effect for the entire viewing area. Most of us until midnight. Stevenson, Joe Davies, Carroll, and Whiteside counties, that will go until 2 o'clock tomorrow. So when we look at our wind chill numbers here, that take us through the night into tomorrow morning, getting up, getting out the door, the wind chill numbers will range anywhere from 15 to 20 below. So still a cold start tomorrow. So you still got to take your cold weather precautions because it will be rather cold, but there will be some improvements once we get into the afternoon. Notice that number climbing up above zero. There is, however, snow coming up for tomorrow, so I'll time that out and the impacts that could bring with those cold temperatures coming up here, Wendell, a little later.
Thank you, Candace. Warming centers are now available for people who need them, and Rockford Carpenter's Place is open during the day. So is the Rockford Health and Human Services Department, Second First Church, and Brook Road United Methodist Church. The Rockford Rescue Mission is offering overnight shelter for anyone in need. In Loves Park, there's a warming center at City Hall and the gym. And in Belvedere, the Public Safety Building and Oasis on I-90 are both open. You can find a full list of centers along with hours and addresses on our website, mystateline.com. So many schools around the state line closed in response to the bitter cold and dangerous wind chills. But what do you do to keep your kids busy on this unexpected day off? Eyewitnesses reporter Blake Dietz braved the negative temps to find out. Blake, what'd you learn?
And Wendell, I learned that those temperatures are certainly no joke. But throughout Rockford, there are plenty of people putting on their parkas to enjoy a day off school.
Frigid, freezing, bone-chilling. Call it whatever you want, it's cold outside. And with schools closed, students like Silas Hawkins are trying to keep busy. But there have been some roadblocks.
I get that it's cold, but it's weird that they closed the Discovery Center because of the cold. I wish there was snow this year. There was no snow at all. Yeah, I wish there was snow like last year. Last year was awesome.
With the temperatures dangerously below zero, even go-to places like the Discovery Center are closed. That forces parents to be flexible when taking care of their kids for the day.
Yeah, I invited some friends who have really little kids who have never been here, and unfortunately it was closed, so now we're just going to the Burpee Museum instead.
Others, like Grayson and Peyton Kaplan, figured if you can't beat the cold, why not join it?
They announced it this morning, and I just wanted to skate.
Carlson Ice Arena was open for skating, and today is a perfect time to try something new.
This is my first time ever skating in a hockey rink. Yeah, we all wanted to skate, but I was like debating if I wanted to do my homework, but I'm going to do my homework later because I was like, this is my first time skating, so I was like, I can't miss out on this.
One thing is for sure, even out on the ice inside is a break from the cold outdoors.
Is it colder in here than outside or outside?
Outside. It's so cold outside.
Now, luckily, Wendell, as Candace said, we should see an end of this cold snap soon. She'll have a full forecast a little bit later.
Blake, thank you. Tonight, a Freeport teenager has been released from the hospital following a shooting. Freeport police arrived at FHN Hospital shortly before 3 p.m. Monday to speak with a walk-in gunshot victim. That 18-year-old told police he was approached by a pair of boys on West Smith Street earlier in that day. The two teenagers allegedly tried to rob him. The victim said he hit one of the teens and then just ran off before being shot in the arm. No arrests have been made at this point, and police are still investigating. If you have any information, please contact the Freeport Police Department. We are still working tonight to learn details about a car fire outside of a Rockford gas station last night. Take a look at this video. So this occurred at the Phillips 66 at Linden Road and South Alpine Road in Rockford. So what you're seeing now is a video sent in by a viewer. You can see fire and heavy smoke coming from the car, which was parked next to a gas pump. Emergency service vehicles can also be seen on the scene. While it's still unclear what caused this fire, we're working to learn what did, and we'll be updating you as soon as we know more. If you have video or pictures from a story that we should know about, please send them our way. Pardon me. Just use our State Line website, mystateline.com/share. A Rockford man has been convicted of a 2023 shooting on Christmas Day. The Winnebago County State's Attorney's Office announced 37-year-old Ricky Guinyard was found guilty of aggravated battery with a firearm, armed robbery, and being an armed habitual criminal. He faces up to 30 years in prison. Now, early morning on December 25th of 2023, police say they found a man with a gunshot wound on Broadway. Guinyard attempted to rob that victim at gunpoint from within a car before shooting and robbing the victim after he refused. He is set to be back in court on March 7th for a sentencing hearing. We are just 2 days away from our annual fundraiser for a major nonprofit in Rockford, An Evening for Hope. It's a telethon that supports the Rockford Rescue Mission. My colleagues, Eyewitness News anchors Mimi Murphy and Tom Lewis, will be live at the mission this Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. right here on WTVO 17. Donations go towards meals, shelter, and other life-changing services for people in need. An annual event in support of local restaurants returns when we come back. The details for this year's Rockford Restaurant Week.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Restaurant Week is returning to Rockford for its 5th year. It's an event to showcase and celebrate the local culinary scene. One restaurant participating for the first time, the Spider Sushi Bar in Perryville. The manager says they are excited and ready for this event and how much it means to be part of the event for the community. Garrett's Restaurant and Bar is joining for the week once again. And even though it participated since the beginning of Restaurant Week, they are still excited to showcase what they have.
I believe we've been part of Restaurant Week since the beginning. It definitely adds to the slow time of the year. We do see about a 20% increase in sales. I think it's great to see new customers coming in, old guests coming in just to try something new. So we have a lot of fun with it.
Restaurant Week starts Thursday and goes through February 2nd. For a full list of restaurants, their menus and times, you can head over to this story on our website, mystateline.com. A local scholarship program announces an expansion for students looking to transfer between schools. Rockford Promise announced today recipients of its tuition-free scholarship graduating Rock Valley College can retain their free tuition when transferring to NIU. This takes effect in the fall. For any RVC graduates with a cumulative GPA of 2.5 or higher, the Rockford Promise program provides scholarships to 4 state-line colleges for RPS graduates. A pathway for some private school students has been approved by City Council as well. NIU's president believes this new collaboration will be beneficial to students from both schools.
Together, we're really able to help students see a path to a four-year degree. We make sure that they understand how financial resources can come together to help them get that degree without paying tuition, but we also make sure they understand all of the resources that are available to help them get to, through, and beyond their NIU graduation.
Applications for the program are open and close on March 1st. Tomorrow's warm-up comes a chance with snow in the forecast here in the state line. When we come back, Chief Meteorologist Candace King will let us know when we might see those flurries. Her full forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
A clear but cold evening as we had plenty of sunshine out there, and that clear sky carries over into tonight. But tomorrow we end up with more cloud cover. We take a live look with our Mercial Skytrack camera here in Rochelle, looking off to the northwest. That clear sky will fill back in with some cloud cover going into tomorrow, and eventually that will lead to some light snow. Temperatures stayed below zero for a good chunk of our Tuesday morning and afternoon. It really wasn't until the early afternoon that we actually were able to climb here up above zero, and that's thanks to a southwest wind. The downfall, however, to our wind still coming in around 15 miles per hour in some spots. It's pushed the wind chill factor down 15 to 20 degrees below. Now our temperature today made it to 2. That's the high today. 2 degrees, that's it. We're at 0 right now in Rockford and Rochelle, but it feels like 17 degrees below 0 in Rochelle, 19 below currently in DeKalb. So that cold weather advisory continues for a lot of us here through at least midnight, as those wind chill numbers will stay around 20 degrees below 0. Right at 0 for our weather watcher Terry in Genoa, 14 degrees below 0. That's the current dew point temperature, so it's really dry out there. Pressure's falling, and you've got a westerly wind at 17 miles per hour. That did push the wind chill factor down to around 22 degrees below 0 there in Genoa. 2 above for our weather watcher Mike in Forston. A brisk west and southwesterly wind, I should say. Current wind chill factor right now sits at 13 below. The wind will continue to increase from the southwest tomorrow morning, gusting 25, maybe up to 30 miles per hour. We'll maintain that gusty southwest wind, which will bring our temperatures tomorrow into the 20s, but our wind chills will still stay in the single digits and low teens. So on either side, really at 10 degrees going into the afternoon. By Thursday, the wind will shift to the northwest, and that is out ahead of a cold front that'll pass back through and bring our temperatures down once again into Thursday. So our temperatures this evening are actually going to drop. We are going to get those numbers to dip back below 0, but I think at midnight we'll sit at 0, and then tomorrow morning we will actually climb. So numbers will be closer to about 4, 5, 6 degrees tomorrow. But again, the wind chills will still stay 15 to 20 below, at least tomorrow morning. 24 for the afternoon, but that snow coming in will create some slippery travel. So just keep that in mind. And that system is off to the northwest of us. Area of low pressure will move out of Canada into the upper Midwest. You can already start to see that cloud cover and light snow shower activity begin to move in. So as we plan that out here on Futurecast, as we get through tomorrow morning, early tomorrow, we are likely dry. I think we'll see some light flurry activity start to work in. It does have a lot of dry air to overcome, so it may take a little while in the morning before we actually start to see something come down. But as early as 7, 8 o'clock, I think it will start to pick up a little more. However, once we get into the afternoon and evening, I'm not talking about a lot, but it is going to be enough, I do believe, to cause some headaches out there, especially on the roadways. We'll see that cold front start to then shift closer to the state line, and then that wind turns to the northwest. By tomorrow night, most of that is out. The bulk of this, and I think the biggest impacts, are going to come tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, especially with the commute and the travel. And then you've got the wind too, so that'll drop visibility down. Right along that Highway 20 corridor holds the best potential for those totals to get up close to an inch. But anywhere from ½ an inch to maybe an inch to an inch and a half will be very common. But with the cold leading up to it and our really cold surface temperatures, it's not going to be much for that to stick and cause some slick conditions. But by next Tuesday, our temperature back close to 40.
Thank you, Candace. Scott's up next with sports. Chicago Bears employees got to meet the team's new head coach today. Their first impression was a favorable one.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
It's a new era in Chicago Bears football with the hiring of Ben Johnson as the head coach. The Bears made that official today, announcing the move. They then brought Johnson into Hallis Hall to meet the Bears employees. They gave Johnson and his wife and children a big round of applause. Johnson immediately injected a lot of energy into the building, and he had this message for the fans on the Bears' social media.
All right, Bears Nation, get ready to go. Beyond fired up to be here. This is exciting times. Cannot wait to get to work. Bear down, baby.
Johnson will meet with reporters tomorrow morning for the first time. The Vikings aren't letting their guy, Kevin O'Connell, get away. They've signed him to a new multi-year contract. He's guided the Vikings to the playoffs twice in 3 years on the job. Ohio State has its national championship, and now they lay claim to #1 in the final AP poll. The Buckeyes are a unanimous pick with all 56 first-place votes. Notre Dame slots in second, Oregon third, Texas fourth, and Penn State fifth. That's 3 Big Ten teams in the top 5. That's never happened before. The Fighting Illini finished 16th. Could another local football player wind up playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes? Guilford junior receiver defensive back Messiah Tilson says he has an offer from the Hawkeyes. It's his 11th D1 offer. His others include Iowa State, Illinois, NIU, Missouri, Kansas, Minnesota, Kentucky, and Vanderbilt. Orangeville graduate Tessa Janicki has put her name in the Penn State hockey record books. This past weekend, she became Penn State's all-time scoring leader when she picked up her 138th point in a win against Syracuse. Janicki's only a junior, so she'll be scoring a lot more points before she is finished there. Penn State's having another great season. Their record is 21-4-1. That's sports. We'll be right back.
So we're all feeling this cold air, and many are heading outdoors for cold weather experiments, including our own morning meteorologist, Joey Marino. Take a look.
So, right now it's -11 here in Rockford with a wind chill of -35. You would think I'm crazy for standing outside. There's usually a pretty cool thing that some meteorologists and weather enthusiasts do. They get a boiling pot of water, they take it outside and throw it up in the air. So I got some warm water here. Very cold outside, so we're going to throw it up in the air and make ourselves a cloud. Here we go. And now it's time to go back inside.
He didn't have on a hat or anything.
Yeah, he was out there for a very short amount of time. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty cool. So there's a lot of fun experiments, that a lot of people do. And that is a very famous one. You just got to be careful, if you use like a pot or a cup of boiling water, but you take it, you go out, and then you kind of make your own your own little cloud, or freezing bubbles, or I've seen the one with the ramen noodle soup and things like that. We've got some snow coming up, so thankfully tomorrow we're out of the deep freeze. Still cold, just slick tomorrow with the snow.
Thank you, Candace. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again at 6.